Alright folks, if you're like us, you are ready for the 2023 riding season. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 motorcycle roads for the entire country for the year 2023. Now before we begin, I know the question that you're probably asking. In a country full of fantastic motorcycle roads, how do you decide which one should go on a top 10 list? Well, we'd argue if you're willing to travel to the other side of the country just to ride a particularly great motorcycle road, then that would qualify it for the list. We'll cover some epic rides in the western states like the Beartooth Highway and the Going to the Sun Road, and we'll highlight the best in the eastern states, including an amazing ride through the forest and hills of Tennessee. And for all the work we put into the video here, all we ask of you in return is to hit that like button. It'll help our channel, and don't forget to subscribe either. We've got more videos on the best motorcycle rides in every state in America, so be sure to check those out. And all these roads can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. There we have route descriptions, pictures of what the roads actually look like, and links to the direct Google Maps routes, all of which you can get on the go right on your device. Okay, first on our list is the San Juan Mountain Skyway, featuring Colorado Route 550. This includes the $1 Million Highway. It's about 129 miles in length. This route takes you through some of the most rugged part of the Colorado Rockies. The San Juan Skyway traverses multiple mountain passes that rise more than 11,000 feet above sea level. The towns you'll pass through on this route are renowned for their history and beauty. Be sure to spend some time at Mesa Verde, Silverton, and Telluride. There's countless number of hairpin turns and switchbacks, and some of these are with and without guardrails. The descents and climbs are almost endless, and there's stunning views of the Rocky Mountains along the way. This amazing motorcycle road has the incredible scenery you would expect in the Colorado Rockies, with the added bonus of some nice stops spread out along its path. And make sure to take advantage of these turnouts to take a good look at the scenery and just soak in that beauty. You'll want to see more of the views as you ride, but you'll need to keep your eyes on the road. The Skyway has huge steep drop-offs that are all over the place on this ride. And a special 25-mile portion of this road is dubbed as the $1 Million Highway. This part is between Silverton and Ouray. If you're going to ride here in 2023, just keep in mind that the snow sticks around a lot longer up there in the spring and returns more quickly in the year. You'd be safest to ride this in July and August. And of course, autumn would be a glorious time to ride, but really these views are stunning at any time of year. While you could motorcycle this in one day, it would be a long ride if you make only a few stops. So it's best to allow for about 2 days with so much to see and visit along the way. And you may get some high traffic in certain areas, especially if you ride this on a weekend. But the San Juan Skyway is one of the greatest routes in the United States. And when you throw in the epic $1 Million Highway part, this road has it all. There's awesome scenery, great curves through several mountain passes, and scenic stops along the way. Next up is the Twisted Sisters in Texas. This is about 112 miles in length. This motorcycle loop ride is famous in Texas, and it's without a doubt one of the best, most challenging motorcycle rides in America. Locals call this ride Texas's own Tail of the Dragon, and for good reason. These roads carve and twist along clear rivers through the dense green hills of central Texas. In fact, in one 15-mile section, you'll navigate around no less than 65 curves. But the entire route has constant switchbacks for miles, along with sweeping curves looking out over some beautiful vistas, all of which offers motorcyclists an extremely technical yet fun road to navigate. The Twisted Sisters feature 3 main motorcycle roads. Texas 335 is an especially wild road with its roller coaster dips and elevation changes. 336 has some straightaways, and the 337 portion of the loop is probably our favorite of the 3. You'll ride past beautiful Texas ranches as you twist and turn on the long sweeping curves. Most locals agree that springtime is the best season to ride here as far as the scenery. The flowers are in bloom everywhere and the colors are terrific. There has been some road construction in recent years that blocks some of this loop, but the work now has been concluded and it's all ready to enjoy for the 2023 riding season. And before you head out, be sure to fuel up as gas stations are few and far between. But if you're looking for one of the best motorcycle roads in America, you would not want to miss the Twisted Sisters. Enjoy this famous loop ride on some of the most challenging roads in Texas. Next up is the absolutely epic Going to the Sun Road. This is way up in Montana and it's about 50 miles in length. The Going to the Sun Road is an engineering masterpiece cutting straight through Glacier National Park. It goes through some of the most rugged terrain in North America. Experiencing Glacier National Park and going to the Sun Road by motorcycle really is the best way to see it. It's actually one of the few roads in the entire country that was not built to get you somewhere, but it was built just to carry people through scenery. According to the National Park's website, Going to the Sun Road was designed to blend into its mountain setting. This 2-lane road is quite narrow and winding, and features numerous hairpin turns. In fact, the road is so narrow that there are size restrictions on what vehicles can actually travel on it. Massive glaciers, beautiful valleys, cascading waterfalls, and towering mountains all make this one of the greatest motorcycling roads in all of America. The road is awe-inspiring and exhilarating, both feelings amplified by doing it on a motorcycle. Connecting the towns of St. Mary on the park's eastern side and West Glacier on the western side, the entire ride will take about 2 hours. But the trip will invariably be much longer, especially if you're stopping to do photographs or even to take a short hike. It can easily turn into a half-day excursion or longer. And this road is popular, so if you want to avoid traffic jams, go in September or October and avoid the holiday weekends. But if you do happen to ride it on a day where there's a lot of traffic, it isn't necessarily a bad thing, as it gives you time to enjoy the park's spectacular views as you're riding. The Going to the Sun Road is a stunning ride through one of the country's most unique landscapes. Next up is the famous Needles Highway. This is in South Dakota, featuring Route 87. It's about 39 miles in length. There are more than a few spectacular motorcycle roads in the Black Hills Custer State Park region, but Route 87 is one of the finest. The highway is named after the high granite needles it winds among, and passes through 2 tunnels blasted through sheer granite walls. Situated about 30 miles southwest of Rapid City, it's one of the most popular roads for motorcycle riders attending the annual Sturgis Rally. It's an extremely impressive ride that includes sharp turns, narrow tunnels, granite spires, and world-class Dakota views, all complemented by excellent pavement that is well maintained. The Needles Highway is located within the boundaries of the Black Hills National Forest. The highway gets its name from the eroded granite towers, pillars, and spires that rise from the ridges in a section of Custer State Park. These towering spires of granite are an impressive natural wonder when seen from a distance, but they're even more awe-inspiring when you ride your motorcycle on the narrow road that winds between them. On this road, you'll enjoy the sensation of threading your motorcycle through the eye of a needle. Needle's Eye Tunnel is just 8 feet 4 inches wide and is one of the most famous of the 3 tunnels on the road. Just keep in mind there's mountain goats, bighorn sheep, deer, elk, and of course tons of bison on this road. While it can be exciting to see wildlife on the road when you're on your motorcycle, you'd just rather not see them on the road. Needles Highway is open from April through October. If you ride early in the morning, you can avoid most of the traffic during Bike Week. But if you plan on riding the Needles Highway in 2023, there'll be something new and exciting around every corner. Up next is one of our favorite motorcycle rides in America, the Blue Ridge Parkway. This starts up in Virginia and through North Carolina. The whole thing is about 469 miles in length. This gorgeous motorcycle road reveals stunning long-range vistas and close-up views of the rugged mountains. And it even has a few short tunnel adventures. In fact, there's 26 tunnels that carry the parkway through mountainsides, and there's numerous stone bridges that take it over creeks and ravines. The entire scenic road starts along the mountain ridge tops from Waynesboro, Virginia, and continues south to Cherokee, North Carolina. Built as a refuge from traditional highways, the parkway is part of the U.S. National Park System, and it provides high elevations, steep grades, and tight curves, especially along the North Carolina section of this road. And what makes this ride so great is that it connects Skyline Drive, which is a 105-mile scenic road through Shenandoah National Park. And the southern portion brings you to the entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So it not only connects 2 fantastic motorcycle trip destinations, but it's also a gorgeous ride in and of itself. And the fact that it's serviced by the National Park System means that the roadway is beautifully maintained. Now, one question you may be asking yourself is, how long does it take to ride the entire Blue Ridge Parkway? At an average speed of 45 miles per hour and 469 miles to cover, it would take a little over 10 hours if you were riding through non-stop. So allow at least 2 or 3 days to endeavor the entire road, which would allow you to take advantage of the many overlooks and take in all the scenic beauty. And don't forget you'll have to detour off the road to fill up on fuel and take any lodging. But just be careful about the wildlife here. We wouldn't recommend riding this at dusk or dawn. We've done this road a few times over the years, and there was one ride I did much later in the day than I had planned, and I could not believe how many deer were literally jumping up onto the road. And this is overall a slower paced motorcycle ride, so it's not one you'll be testing your high speed skills on necessarily, but that being said, it truly is one of the best roads in the entire eastern United States. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a national treasure and an absolute dream to ride for motorcyclists. Next, we head back to Colorado for the Peak to Peak Highway. This highway was established in 1918 and provides gorgeous scenery of the mountains, featuring Colorado routes 119, 72, and 7. This is about 61 miles in length. This ride combines sensational twisties with some of the finest scenery that Mother Nature can offer. You'll marvel at dazzling Rocky Mountain vistas as you crest the Continental Divide. The road carves into glacier-cut valleys and switchbacks up through the thick forests. From Golden, Colorado, take Highway 6 through Clear Lake Canyon Park to reach Highway 19, which is the beginning of the Peak to Peak, and it drops you back down into Estes Park. May through September will be the best months to ride the summit due to the less probability of snowfall and warmer weather. But that being said, the weather does change rapidly at high elevation and storms roll in quickly, so make sure you keep an eye on the weather before you head out. And if you're a fan of hairpin turns, this is the road for you. Some of these are 10 to 15 mile-an-hour curves. And the road does get more difficult once you rise above the tree line, so caution and focus is needed on this road. The fact that it's only about an hour away from the Denver area makes this a great day ride. There's state parks nearby, national forests, and even some ghost towns along the way. If you plan on riding in this area in 2023, don't miss Colorado's oldest scenic byway. Next, we head over to Arizona for the Springerville to Three-Way motorcycle ride. This features Route 191. It's about 130 miles in length, and this includes the awesome Coronado Scenic Trail. This ride is located in the central eastern part of Arizona, and the ride parallels the New Mexico border. Known to some as the Devil's Highway because its previous name was the Old Arizona 666 Highway, the offshoot of US 66. Forests, desert, canyons, and reservoirs all can be seen on this route while twisting and curving through the national forests of eastern Arizona. Some riders claim this is one of the best motorcycle roads in the whole western United States. Even though it's in a remote section of Arizona, it's well worth the trip. You'll start out in a desert environment near Clifton, and it ends up passing through an alpine paradise. Heading north, the road increases in elevation, and you can stop at some scenic overlooks. The road will then take you through a canyon as the road hugs some cliffs and continues to dramatically climb. What makes this road so amazing is the big change in scenery you'll see. The diversity of landscape is due to the change in elevation you'll cover, a 5,000 feet difference from start to finish. This road is very technical and twisty. They say there are 427 curves on Arizona Route 191 between Clifton and Alpine. And this one is probably not recommended for beginner riders. The Coronado Scenic Trail, and indeed all of US 191, is a showcase for the varied and spectacular scenery of eastern Arizona. Next up is the epic Beartooth Highway. This entire road runs through Montana and Wyoming and is about 137 miles in length. It's been called the most beautiful drive in America. US Route 212, otherwise known as Beartooth Highway or Beartooth Pass, should be at the top of every motorcyclist's bucket list. It begins just outside of the northeast entrance of the Yellowstone National Park and winds up 69 miles to Red Lodge, Montana. Beartooth Highway traverses the Wyoming-Montana state line. The road will take you from 7,500 feet in elevation to almost 11,000 feet at the summit of Beartooth Pass. It's one of the highest paved roadways in the Rocky Mountain region. You'll get the sensation of being on a roller coaster as you ride down this road. And with very little in the way of guardrails, you can fully enjoy the amazing scenery. There's everything from mountains, forests, rivers, rocks, and even snow and tundra. But even then, at times, the road may be temporarily closed due to off-season snowstorms. And speaking of snow, just remember Beartooth Highway is a seasonal roadway and is only open to travelers from May to October every year. From its panoramic mountain views and high alpine lakes to thrilling switchbacks, it's a motorcycle ride you'll never forget, and one that you will want to come back and ride again. Next is the Cherohala Skyway, featuring North Carolina Highway 143 and Tennessee Route 165. This is about 43 miles in length. This is a favorite for motorcycle and sports car drivers with its many twists and turns. The Skyway is relatively new. It was completed in 1996 after 34 years of planning and construction. It follows North Carolina Highway 143 and Tennessee Route 165 to Tellico Plains, Tennessee. This drive among the clouds reaches elevations of over 5,400 feet high. This gem is full of extraordinary mountainside forest scenery. The Cherohala Skyway takes your motorcycle on a long and sweeping ride through the mile-high ridgelines of remote national forests, just west of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Traffic is typically light, and the curves are challenging and consistent for this 43-mile ride through some of the most scenic areas in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Riding the Cherohala Skyway on a motorcycle, you'll find smooth pavement with good traction. The abundant and unobstructed overlooks are well marked, paved, and are found around just about every corner. You'll want to pull off on some of these as they offer stunning long-range views. Temperatures can drop as much as 20 degrees during the first 11 miles of your drive, starting in the North Carolina side. Since the Skyway climbs from 2,600 feet in elevation to 5,400 feet in that short span, and elevation signs along the road signal each 1,000-foot change. It feels like you're riding through a national park. And if you really want to challenge your riding skills, you can incorporate the nearby world-famous Tail of the Dragon, which would make a 120-mile loop ride of a lifetime. While the Tail of the Dragon has its legendary curves and makes most top 10 lists, we'd argue the Cherohala is a relaxing contrast to the commotion and crowds found at Deals Gap. Many find the ride on the Cherohala Skyway is far more enjoyable. The curves open up and relax a bit more, but they keep on coming one after another, with the added dimension of long winding climbs and descents. While it may sound like this is a relaxing ride, the Cherohala Skyway challenges the motorcycle rider's skill and is absolutely one of the best motorcycle rides in America for 2023. Okay, last up is one that cannot be left off a 2023 list. This is California State Route 1 and includes the amazing Big Sur. This bucket list ride runs along just about all of the Pacific coastline of Southern California. As far as touring goes, this is a great ride virtually any time of year. And probably the most epic part of this route is in Big Sur. Sitting high above the surf, the highway clings to the edge of the area's cliffs, providing spectacular views as it weaves in and out of the seemingly endless coastline. But almost the entire route has varying degrees of stunning scenery along the glittering Pacific. The best thing about cruising along the Pacific Coast Highway is that it really forces you to go slow and take in the tremendous California coastline around you. And with plenty of places to pull off and stretch your legs, or wander around the small beach towns, there's always something new to experience around every blind turn, leisurely curve, and cresting hill. If you can only ride a portion of this road, make sure it's Big Sur. This part of the route is truly epic, and it's absolutely a motorcycle rider's dream. So that's our list for the top 10 motorcycle roads in America for the year 2023. If you didn't see a route that you think should be included, there's a good chance it was on our 2022 YouTube video, so be sure to check that one out. Or if you've ridden any of these amazing rides, be sure to let us know about it in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful at all, hit that like button for us. It'll help our channel, and don't forget to subscribe either. And don't forget, all these roads can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.